but I do okay. But I'll go with a salary of $0 since I'm starting a business and I have made $0.
Okay.
Hypergamy is good for you. You got options.
I'm a full-time student but have multiple sources of income, so I do well.
Okay.
I'm working at like a stock firm right now, and I'm making $15K a year.
Okay. So, I mean, just curious, maybe a better question is also to ask, like, you're the guy who you're eventually going to marry, how much money would you like him to be earning, say, when he turns, I mean, we have a variety of ages here in this group, but say when
Like
he's 30, 35, 40, in that age range, how much would you like your future partner, husband, to be making? 50K, 75K, 100K? More? Here, we'll go around the table really quick. Your future partner, how much do you think he's going to be earning? Go ahead.
So,
Or do you want him to earn?
honestly, I don't necessarily care. Like, honestly, I don't really care. Obviously, I don't want.
Stop the cap.
Stop it. Let's be honest.
So
Otherwise,
you would date,
everyone's going to say that.
You date a KFC guy? Come on.
No, okay. Well, I was saying that I wouldn't necessarily date that. I just want someone that has drive in their life and that is able to kind of let me be able to travel with them. Like, we can travel together and, like, you can
With
kind of
what?
spoil
With what
me in a
money?
sense. With the money. Like,
With what money? What if he's poor? You said you want to travel with him.
That's going to take money. It's going to take money.
Like a certain, like, number. I want someone that has, like, drive and they are. I don't have, like, a certain number, honestly. Like, I wouldn't. Someone could come to me and they would be like, oh, I only make like $40K a year or something, and like.
That's pretty low.
That is pretty low. It is pretty low.
Well,
yes,
I think 45K is the average, the median average salary for men in the U.S.
That's no
but
holidays.
It's low.
No.
It's low in the sense. I'm not trying to shit on anybody in the chat that makes that much or less, but living in California, if you want to live in like a major city, you're probably gonna have to, you know, if you want a certain lifestyle, if you want to travel, for example, go on vacations, if you want to, you know, afford a certain size house that has bedrooms do you want kids? Maybe you don't want kids, so maybe
I'm
it's
not sure, honestly. I haven't met a person, like, I'm open to it, but I haven't met a person that I could see like a life with. Like,
Sure.
I want to meet someone that I'm like, oh my God, I want
Yeah,
to have your babies. Yeah.
But it would break down like this. You know, you have to look, okay, well, what city do I want to live in? The square footage of the house, how many bedrooms do you want? How many bathrooms? How many cars do you want to have?
Yeah.
Do you want the kids to have their own separate bedrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to travel 2 or 3 times a year? You know, there's a bunch of other factors that you have to, you know, and then what kind of house do you want? Do you want kind of like a mid-tier, low-tier, or like maybe a bit more luxury? The cars you have, do you want 1 car, 2 cars? You want mid-tier cars? You want luxury cars? And international travel versus domestic, you know, so all these are a factor. So we can say that money doesn't matter, but if you do want to, for example, have kids, you know, your partner's income is going to have to be a factor in, you know, a deciding factor in your partner.
Correct, but I'm more so attracted to, like, not even like a number. Like, I am more attracted to someone that has the drive in their life to, like, want to make that money. Like, if they are making 40K, but they have like business idea that
I
they're
do see what
putting
you're
into
saying,
motion,
because
you know what I mean?
women
Yeah.
do tend to invest in men. They'll
Yes.
they'll see someone with potential and they'll see a potential winner and they'll invest. My mum is hilarious like that. She's single at like 50 and she saw a guy who earned good money, not so attractive in terms of what he had going on. She took him. She goes, grow out the facial hair. We'll get you a new wardrobe, this, that, and now he walks around like an absolute don.
Yeah,
and she's
that
invested in that guy, and now took him from like a 5 to a 9.
No, yeah, and that's how my parents were. Like, my dad wasn't making like a ton of money, but then they started dating, and she saw that he had this drive, and he's like doing very well for himself. He's doing amazing, and that's like something that I would want, like, honestly, in life, to be able to grow with someone.
I think some women move like that, but there's also, I think, just as many women. I disagree with you a bit slightly here, in that I think a lot of women wait at the finish line
Winners.
and the winners.
Yep.
So I think I don't think you're wrong for saying, and there's definitely a lot of women who do care about ambition, But I think my view on it is women are not so concerned with a man's ambition as they are concerned with, has he reaped the benefits
Yes.
of said ambition? Because an ambitious guy who, there's a lot of like really ambitious guys that want to can be SoundCloud rappers and shit that work at fast food restaurants. Maybe one day they'll be successful. But I think women are much more attuned to actually picking the men who have already reaped the benefits of said ambition.
And it's an age thing as well. Like if you're 21 and you see a guy who's like studying whatever, but he's broke, and you know that he's going to be rich one day, then that's a good horse to bet on.
Yeah.
But if he's 40 and he's not earning any money, but he's got ambition, sorry, mate. Yeah, not
And a
happening.
lot of people who have ambition don't make it. Like not everybody is going to make it, you
It's
know?
more
sure.
about, I would say, like how is that matching up to like the work they're putting in, like realistic everyday like type of thing. Maybe.
Word.
People
You know-
have to be
oh,
realistic.
go ahead.
People have to be realistic at some point. You can have all the ambition in the world, but not everyone can make it, unfortunately.
Not everybody is
There's
going
a-
to be a rock star.
Yeah, 80-20 rule.
Let's continue on a little more with the Jonah Hill stuff. Then we're going to get the soup chats, guys. And then when you have some good stuff, some other good stuff to react to. Okay, so this is another screenshot. She's at the top. I don't care for your misogyny. What does he say here that's misogynistic? We can't do surf social things. Give regard to our relationship. I've been vulnerable as possible, and I'm telling you I'm needing you to step up to the plate, which you can. I'm sure of it, but these losers don't get your time if you want me. Straight up, it's consideration. I respect your love of surfing, and I respect myself as well, and your love of surfing and being in those situations and lack of awareness are not mutually exclusive. That this isn't me. I have my own issues that I own. If you want marriage and family, you can't use the 25 card. Okay, so I guess she was 25 when they were dating, and she was still like living her best life, and I don't know. Step up and cut the shit. These people don't get your time or your kindness at the sacrifices of minds. So we don't know all the details here, but it sounds like she's hanging out with some dudes or something, who knows. By these people, he meant any friend of mine that he hadn't personally approved of. And somehow she's saying, I don't care for your misogyny. I don't see, I mean, if you guys can parse what she, I don't see anything in this text here that is misogynistic. So like
Absolutely not.
hateful of women or contempt of women, or, I mean,
The personally approved, I don't see, okay, it's not misogynistic, but it's a little bit like, okay, so you have to meet every single person I encounter, but there are people that, you know, your partner's going to meet and they're automatically going to get an off vibe. I'm sure you guys have met your partner's friends, and there are one or two people that you're like, that person, right. Like, it's just how it is. So I get that.
It depends what they're doing around them as well. I mean, there are
Right.
definitely toxic friends. I had an ex-girlfriend once who just, one of her friends were all just cokeheads, and I couldn't stand it. And I was like, just don't hang out with them. She wouldn't listen to me.
But like our other partners should be given the room to like, they should be able to be around certain behaviors, and like it depends on the relationship to be able
I
to
don't really
like
know about
control
that.
yourself.
To
like,
an
But also,
extent, you
can't
kind of you are
control
who you
yourself
hang
when
out with.
No,
It's
definitely.
literally exactly what I was
You
gonna say,
you reflect who you hang out with
Yeah.
to a very large extent, and I think that if you're surrounding yourself with people that have horrible behaviors and patterns, that you're gonna
that
copy
saying
those
where
as well.
it's like, if you hang out with people that smoke all the time,
Absolutely,
eventually you are going to pick up a cigarette and smoke
like
it
yeah,
with
you
them.
are who you
Mm-hmm.
whatnot.
you are who you hang out
but
with.
also at an extent, you gotta put an accountability of your own, like
Yeah, you do have to practice
have to-
self-control, but
yeah,
it comes
discipline
to an
yourself, like-
extent. If she's